So our topic for today is arc welding. Arc welding is also called as stick welding. Now what is welding? When you are joining two material together by fusion of material, means the metal will be melted and joined together. So that process is known as welding. Okay. So we'll be heating the metal up to a suitable temperature, and due to the heat the metal will melt and get merged into each other. So that process is known as welding. So how can we do it? By heating them to suitable temperature. Now this can be done with pressure or without pressure. We can also use a third material, or we can melt the same material. So whenever you are welding, these are the safety precautions which you need to take care. There should be a face shield. Always you have to use a face shield, and in some welding you need to wear a gloves. Not in all welding. Some in arc welding you will wear gloves. So what are the safety PP required? Overall, safety shoes, face shield and gloves. And never touch the electrode with your bare hand. Always touch it with gloves, not with your hand. So the material, wherever we need to join, we'll keep it together and heat it so it will melt, and after melting it will get merged into each other, and then we will allow it to cool. So after cooling they both will join. So the joint which we are making by welding, that is permanent, that we cannot break. If it is a screw and thread, nut and bolt, that is temporary joint, but by welding it is a permanent joint. So we cannot disassemble it easily. We need to break the joint if we need to separate it. So see what are the equipment required. See, this is the safety shield. Then goggles, sometimes goggles is required. If safety shield is there, goggle is not required. If safety shield is not there, we will wear goggles. Overall, leather gloves, not ordinary cloth gloves. We will wear leather gloves. But welding gloves, welding chaps, and steel toe work boot, safety shoes. So these are the equipment required before welding: safety shoes, overall, leather glove, and face shield or safety goggle. Then whenever you are working, so what are the requirement for welding? So to produce the electricity, to produce the heat, we need electricity. So from where will be the electricity come? From the generator. The generator can be a direct current or alternate current, a DC or AC. Then there will be two cable from the generator. One will be connected to the work table where we will keep our workpiece, and other will be connected to the electrode rod. So you can see this cable. So this will be connected to the generator, and the work table, that also will be connected to the generator. One for work and one for electrode, and electrode holder. Now this is the electrode. Now to hold this we need a electrode holder, which we will be holding with our hand. Electrodes for welding, then protective shield, gloves, wire brush. Now after welding is done, now there are a lot of carbon on the weld. So to remove the carbon, we will use wire brush, not with your hand. We will use wire brush. Now the carbon is accumulated on the joint. So first we need to break that carbon. After breaking, we can clean it with wire brush. So for breaking, we will use chipping hammer and goggles. See, in goggles there is fire produced. So always you should wear proper clothing. If you are not wearing proper clothing, any accident can happen and you can injure yourself. So this is the gas welding. So see, he is not wearing safety shoes, he is not wearing proper clothing, so he can get burned with the fire. So PPE are must, all protection, welding gloves, welding overall, apron, everything with safety shoes, welding screen. In some welding, in gas welding there is no welding screen. But in arc welding, the topic for today, there is a welding screen. We need to hold a face shield. That is the welding screen. Then electrical safety. Now all the equipment should be properly earthed. Otherwise, there are chances that you may get a shock. So you need to make sure that the earthing of all the equipment is proper. And the electrode, that all should be dry. It should not be wet. So these are the hazards which can happen: shock, then due to gases, then burns, then due to rays you can damage your eyes, and if very less space is there you can hurt yourself, you can fall somewhere, your hand can come anywhere, the gas pipe can burst. So these are the hazards which are possible in a welding area. Mostly the hazard which occurs is our eyes get infected due to the arc rays. If we see it without goggle, we can damage our eyes. So always we need to wear goggle or safety shield. So this is how the welding process works. This is the welding machine, the generator from where the current will be generated. This will be connected to the work table. This is where we will do the work, and the other rod will be connected to the electrode holder. Electrode rod holder will be holding the electrode. Now when we bring this electrode near the work, then a closed circuit is formed, and due to the closed circuit, electricity flow through the circuit and heat is generated. So due to the generation of heat, the metal get melted, and after melting we can join it as per our requirement. So this is how it works. Generator, two wire, one to work table, other to electrode holder. Electrode holder, electrode, and that will be bring near to the workpiece. So when we bring it near, a closed circuit is formed, the current will pass. Due to the current, the metal will melt and get fused with each other. So this is the process. So when we bring the electrode near the workpiece, an arc is formed. An arc is struck between the electrode and the metal. So due to the arc, it heats the metal to a melting point. Now when it is sufficiently heated, we will remove the electrode, which will break the arc. Now when we remove the electrode, the molten metal will get fused with each other, and then we will allow it to cool. So after that, after when it has cooled, it will be joined with each other. So how is an arc? The arc is like a flame of intense heat. So due to the large amount of heat passing, electricity passing through, large amount of heat is generated. That is generated as electrical current passes through a highly resistant air gap. Okay, so see, this is an example. Face shield is there. Now still he is not wearing gloves, so this is not proper safety. Now arc welding, where it is used for welding steel, cast iron, stainless steel, aluminum sheet from 0.5 to 20 mm. So all these places we can use arc welding. Now there are many different welding. We'll look in further chapters. Now see, now this is the workpiece. This is our arc. This is our electrode. When we bring this electrode, the heat is generated. Now due to this heat, the metal will get melted. So here you can see this is metal and slag. Slag is the waste, the excess carbon, which we will remove by chipping hammer. So due to this arc, here the metal and slag will be generated. Now during this process, gas are generated. Okay, so this is the molten metal, which after we remove this electrode will freeze, and after freezing it will get welded to the other part. See, this is the welded joint. This is the welded joint. So as we move, the metal will be melted. The metal will be welded. So after we have completed, the excess slag will, the excess carbon will break it with chipping hammer and then clean it with uh, metal wire. So these are the generator which are used. These are the types of generator which are used for welding. First one is the alternate current welding machine. Now this is the most common type, and if the work is small, this is a small generator, this is big. So if the work is small, we can use this, and it is also for low cost. And this is direct current welding machine, direct current generator. So this is the most commonly used. Here we can use diesel or gasoline to run the generator. Portable, the tires are there, we can take it anywhere, but it is expensive than the AC one. Now what are the advantages of welding? Now it is the most efficient way. Okay, if you are using screw and bolt, by removing the screw and bolt we can break the joint, but this is the most efficient way. Once you have joined, it is for permanent, you cannot break it. Very low cost, and we can also work for lighter weight. So only the material will be used at the joint, remaining material will not be affected, and it can all join all commercial metal, and we can get different design with this. Now this has to be done manually, this cannot be done by machine, so labor cost is involved. Then we are using electric current, so higher energy, so whenever electricity is there, danger is always there. And if we need to break it, then it is not so convenient, because if we need to disassemble the part, we need to break the joint. And if while welding, if any defect is there, so if any defect is it between the between the joint, then once it is welded, we cannot detect the defect. There will be inside there will be some cavity, but due to the welding we will not be able to detect that defect inside the joints. So see, these are the joints which you can use whenever we are joining two parts together parallelly, and that is called a butt joint. We'll keep two parts next to each other and take the welding rod between these two parts. So when the welding rod will pass, due to the it will melt the electrode at the end and join these two parts. See, this is square butt joint. Now if the see, if it is straight, it is square. Here if the shape is a little taper, so it is single bevel butt joint. And if it is taper from both the end, it is double beveled butt joint. Then corners. So if you are keeping both next to each other, it is butt. Now if you are keeping one vertical, one horizontal, you are making a L shape, then it is corner joint. If you are keeping one material on the top of other, it is a lap joint. If you are keeping the two, if you are welding keeping the two edges together and welding, then that is the edge joint. Then T, if you are keeping a vertical material on top of a horizontal material, it forms a T. So it is a T joint. See how we can join. We'll keep the material on a standing position and pass the welding rod here. So as you pass the welding rod, the corner ends will be joined. These are the different joint: butt, material next to each other; corner, one vertical, one horizontal at the ends; lap, one above each other; edges, at the edges; T, one vertical, one horizontal, the vertical on top of horizontal. So these are the different types of joint. Now for which material which we will use which joint? If the material is very thin sheet, then we will use a square butt joint, okay, without the use of any filler rod. If the material is thin, so we will require less current also, and the traveling speed should be fast, because if you are traveling very slowly, the whole material will get melted. So at low current we will pass it at higher speed, and electrode diameter should be precise. If the sheet is thick, then we will use a V-shaped joint like bevel joint, single bevel butt joint. And if the joint is thick, so we will require high current for the material to melt and get joined with each other, and the traveling speed should be also slow, because if you are traveling fast, maybe some metal will not be melted and joined. So we have to take high current and travel at very slow speed, so that all the material get melted and joined with each other. And diameter of electrode should be more. Now different power supply can be used. One is constant current power supply, other is constant voltage power supply. Now voltage is directly related to the length of the arc and current related to the amount of heat. So uh, if we have to weld a very long arc, we will use a constant voltage, and if we need high heat, then we will use constant current power supply. So this is the circuit. This is the power source, one connection to the electrode holder, one to the work table, from the electrode holder electrode, and it will form a closed circuit. So when the circuit is closed, current will pass and it will melt the metal, making it join with each other. Now constant current power supply, where it is used? It is used for manual welding process such as gas tungsten arc welding, shielded metal arc welding. Now we can use different electrode. We can use gas tungsten electrode, then different. So depending on that, we can use different power supply. Now we use this because they maintain a constant current supply. If we need a constant high current we need, then we will use this type of power supply. Now it can be difficult to hold the electrode perfectly steady, and as a result the arc length and thus voltage tend to fluctuate. Now due to the hard current, sometime our hand will get distorted from the precise location. So due to this, we will not get constant length. The welding length which we will get, that will be broken. That we will get break in between the arc. So at that time we will use a so so in constant current supply we will not get a proper length, arc length. We will get constant heat, but we will not get proper length. So if we need constant length, we will use constant voltage power supply. So it will hold the voltage constant, so current will not vary, so we can pass it in a single flow. We will get proper arc length. It is used in gas metal arc welding, flux core arc welding, and submerged arc welding. Now arc length is constant because there is no fluctuation. Since any fluctuation in the distance between wire and base material is quickly rectified by large change in current. So if our hand is getting distorted, so the voltage will vary and it will provide a constant voltage. Then current transformer, electrical device used to increase current for welding process. So to maintain a constant current, we will use a transformer to balance the electric flow. So the transformer, what it will do? It will give us a constant current. So these are the electrode which are used. Now these are the filler rod which is used to fill the welding gap. Okay, so when two metal are kept to each other next to each other, will pass the current through the electrode. So this electrode will also get melt and form the slug part in the joint. So what is electrode? It is an electrical conductor. So what does it do? It helps to pass the current used to make contact with a non-metallic part of a circuit. Now it is coated in metal mixture called flux. So this flux, this will be accumulated on the joint, this which we need to remove. So flux is a chemical powder that coating the electrode. Now due to this flux, whenever welding is there, so gases are produced due to the burning of this flux. So flux give off gases as it decompose to prevent weld contamination. So these gases are provided so as the welded joint should not get contaminated. So it also purify the weld pool, so it protect the weld slag to form. So it protect the weld pool against atmosphere, because after welding the metal is in a molten state and there are many chemical in the air. So that chemical can react with the molten metal and form different structure. So to prevent that, the flux add as a protective layer so that the molten metal does not get mixed with the atmospheric chemical. And also improve the arc stability. And it also provide alloying element to improve the weld quality. So sometimes the electrode itself get consumed, and sometimes it is intact, sometimes it is only used to pass the current. So in DC system, the weld rod or stick may be a cathode for a filling type weld or anode for other welding process. And in AC, the in DC we can consider it either as an anode positive or cathode for the current to pass, and in AC it is not considered as anode or cathode. This is the electrode. So as it come near the metal, the top area will melt and form a layer. So the top part is the slag which we need to remove. So this slag will protect the welding joint with the atmosphere. So this is the electrode holder which is used to hold the electrode. Now a good electrode holder, it should be able to carry maximum current without overheating, and it should be easier to insert and remove new electrode inside that. An electrode holder is connected to one end of the welding cable to the power supply, and it is also insulated against any electric electric shock, so it is properly grounded. This is how electrode holder is there. The electrode will be hold between the electrode holder, and the other end will be connected to the power supply.